Hello, welcome back for English 1, Unit 10, Part 2 with your Professor Neil and his TA Yonghee.
Hello, TA Youngie is back for part 2 of Unit 10.
Yes, and we continue with the past progressive and talking about things you were doing and starting with speaking 1. So speaking 1, we are looking at continuing our discussion of the past progressive from the last unit, which there you can see it at the top. And if you look back at the grammar section, as a reminder, were things with the auxiliary verb was, wasn't, were, weren't, and then the main verb ending in ing, and with questions beginning with who, what, when, where, why, how.
What questions?
Yes. And so, yes, we're looking at using what questions. What questions to talk about Jack's busy morning. So as it says up here, Jack did many things yesterday. So yesterday is the time expression for the day before today. And take turns asking what he was doing at the times shown. These are the times shown. So this is the example. What was he doing at 7? He was shaving. So now we're looking at the things he did after shaving. Alright, so there's your verbs. Eat, drive, talk, meet, send, and read.
Write down.
And Yonghee, yes, taking some notes.
I almost didn't recognize her because she was same color as the newspaper.
Yeah, she was hiding. Camouflage, camouflage. Let's start with the first example. So the question, what was he doing at 7:30?
He was eating breakfast.
Yes, he was eating breakfast. Notice how eating only has one T. Even though sometimes you get 2 T's, eating only takes the 1 T in the spelling. So yes, he was eating breakfast at 7:30. It's the long answer. Short answer, he was eating breakfast. So Yonghee, if you ask the question this time.
What was he doing at 8?
Yes, what was he doing at 8? He was driving to work at 8. So notice we're driving. Here you got drive. The E disappears.
Blended with I.
Yes, becomes ing. There's no E here in the spelling. So I'll ask the question this time. What was he doing at 9:05? Or what was he doing at 9:05?
He was talking on the phone at 9:05.
Yes, 9:05 or 9:05. Yes, he was talking on the phone. So what was he doing at 10:15?
He was meeting a client at 10:15 or 10:15.
Yes, you could say 10:15. So 10:15 or 10:15, he was meeting a client. What was he doing at 11?
He was sending an email at 11 o'clock.
Yes, you can. So o'clock is optional. Another difficult one with the time, but 2 options open to you. What was he doing at 11:45? Or what was he doing at 11:45? 11:45.
Or 15 to 12. Can you say that?
No, never 15 to 12.
Quarter to 12. So it's just 15 minutes away from 12.
Yes, you could say that. 15 minutes away from 12. That is possible.
Or 15 minutes from 12.
Yeah, that's possible to.
A lot of different way to say the time in Korean language too.
Okay, that's useful to know.
So what was he doing at 11:45 or 11:45? He was reading a newspaper at 11:45. You can say time first and then rest of sentence.
Yes, you could say at 11:45 he was reading a newspaper. This time expression can jump around. Jump around. Ah, well, that was the end of speaking 1. Disappeared real quickly. And we're on to speaking 2. So, end of speaking 1. Alright, on to speaking 2. You'll jump around, find the right one. So here we're talking about speaking to yesterday afternoon, or yesterday in the afternoon. Ask your partner what the people were doing yesterday afternoon. So for example, was Trevor playing golf yesterday? No, he wasn't. So notice here, Trevor is one person, so it's a was. So no, he wasn't playing golf yesterday. He was playing tennis yesterday. Because Anne and Kim here in the second example are 2 people, we use were. Were Anne and Kim watching sports yesterday? No, they weren't watching sports yesterday. They were watching a concert yesterday. So we don't repeat what's in the question usually. It's an option.
If you don't have to.
But you can if you want to emphasize something. So here we're using past progressive and we're using it with the yes-no questions and affirmative and negative statements. With was or weren't. So let's get on and practice that. So there are your verbs again. Young-hee will probably take some notes.
Yes, right. A lot of verbs.
Oh.
I have to understand whether these verbs are regular or irregular.
Good point. Keeping an eye on your regular and irregular verbs. Don't worry, many more verbs to come in Unit 11 too. I just had a look. A lot of verbs. There's always more verbs. We've always got more verbs for you.
But at the moment, we only need to know how to use was or were. Depends on the subjects.
Yeah, so we've got...
So Wendy is one person. So was Wendy baking cookies yesterday? No. She wasn't. She was baking a cake with cherry on it.
A cake with cherries on it. Ah, celebrationary cake. Not a birthday cake, but it looks delicious nonetheless. Looks like a gâteau, really.
I don't know what gâteau is, but it's...
This style of cake, we call it a gâteau. Gateaux.
What is it?
Scratch your head, yes. It's a gâteau cake.
Okay. Look up the dictionary.
Yeah, look up gâteau if you want a gâteau cake. All right, let's... Oh, jump cakes. Let's get on with John and Kumar.
That reminds me of a movie.
Yes. Where were John and Kumar taking the subway yesterday?
No, they weren't. They were taking a bus. You can also coach or a bus.
Coach, yes, or bus. Oh, I probably should have put the here rather than a, but I guess...
yeah, take the bus.
Yes. Don't worry, no one can see you pointing at the screen.
Did I just point it at
You
the
just pointed
screen?
at the screen, yes. No one can see that. Alright, Graham and Joan. So, were Graham and Joan buying clothes yesterday?
It's Joanne, isn't it? It's lady's name.
Yes.
Not John.
Joanne. Did I say John?
Yeah.
Oh. I'll call John Joan next time I see him then.
Were Graham and Joan buying clothes yesterday? No, they weren't. They were buying groceries.
Groceries, yes. Your shopping for food is your groceries. We've got Tanya. Tanya is one person, so it's a was. Was Tanya having lunch yesterday with Jane?
No, she wasn't. She was having lunch with Ed.
Yes. So you can see the pattern follows each sentence. So here were Dylan and Francis riding bikes yesterday. Same pattern. No, they weren't. They were riding inline skates. Was Jason drinking tea yesterday? And we say no, he wasn't.
He was drinking coffee.
Yes. So throughout it follows a similar pattern. Was for one person, were for two or more people.
Ooh, running machine.
Yes.
Treadmill.
Was Yan running in the park yesterday?
No, she wasn't. She was running at the gym. But the name Yan is difficult to figure if it is a women or a man.
Well, you couldn't say was it. No, it wasn't. Maybe it was a dog.
Yes, Yan is a very unique name, so I can't figure what
So we'll go for she.
gender is it.
Go for a she for now. Lastly, Steve and Lynn. So the question...
Were Steve and Lynn speaking German yesterday? No, they weren't. They were speaking English.
English.
Sprachen Deutsch.
So as you can see, you start with a yes-no question. You say no, and then you give more information. Because it's like, were Steve and Lynn speaking German yesterday? No, they weren't. What were they speaking? They were speaking English.
Okay, so to the yes-no question, starting with the word was, you give the answer of yes or no. And then if you want to, you can give more information.
Yes, more information. Everything's about giving information. So let's practice a little bit of speaking 3. Past progressive again, but here we're looking at using the when clause. So we're using the when now. Alright, we're combining 2 clauses, 2 sentences together using when. So here we have an event and an ongoing action. Ongoing action is going to be the past progressive.
Progressive. Ongoing is progressive.
Event will be the simple past.
So event is when clause.
Yes, and remember, was with one person, were with 2 people. See, so here we have 2 people, Sam and Chris.
Were.
Right. So make sure you use the when.
When is using explain event.
Yes, it's going to join the ongoing action with the event.
Event.
So let's just practice a couple of these. Not that many because...
Baseball. It rains, you can't play baseball.
Exactly. What were Sam and Chris doing when the rain started?
They were playing baseball when the rain started.
Yes. But like in our example here, you don't need to repeat when the rain started because it was in the question. So like in the examples at the top, you see here, what was Jill doing when her mum called? She was waiting for the bus when her mum called. What were Ted and Anne doing when the guests arrived? They were setting the table when the guests arrived. But it's in the question, so you don't need to repeat it. You can, but it's not necessary. So in this case, we say, what were Sam and Chris doing when the rain started? They were playing baseball when the rain started.
Right now.
Or, when the rain started, they were playing baseball. Remember, you can say it in 2 different orders. So let's try one more. What was Sue doing when the car accident happened? So notice here, I've added car in brackets. Here it just says the accident. But you can give the type of accident, like car accident.
Any accident.
Any accident to describe the accident.
So she was checking her phone when the accident happened.
Yes. Sue was checking her phone when the car accident happened. Or
And she, similar. So
yes.
she.
When the accident happened, she was checking her phone. Or Sue is she. She is Sue. Sushi.
Young who likes sushi. Joking. It's playing with words.
Poor Sue being joked about in that way. Alright, but the main point here is we are combining the event with the ongoing action because they happen at the same time. Alright, and we use when to make the sentence longer. The rain started, they were playing baseball. But here, We want it to happen at the same time, So yes, that was the speaking exercises. Self-practice is self-practice here. You have to fill in the blanks, complete the conversation with simple past or past progressive. So here you can see, what was Andy wearing? That is,
when you saw him.
yes, so that's the question, when you saw him, and he was wearing, you can see here, the past progressive. So you want to fill in the gaps, and then check your answers at the back of the book or on the website. Classroom activity, well, we saved that one for the class, but we'll give some examples. So you say, what were you doing last Friday night? And you might say, I was studying German.
I was studying mathematics.
Of course. What were you doing yesterday at 6 p.m? I was bling, 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 bling.
I was having dinner with my friend.
And what were you doing this morning at 8 a.m? I was having breakfast.
I was sleeping.
When I was, yes, getting ready to work. Oh, lucky people who were sleeping this morning. Activity 2. Look at the picture below for 3 minutes with a partner. Try to remember as much as you can about what the people are doing in the park. You cannot write anything down. I guess then you close the book. But we're just going to ask you the question. What were like Liam doing? He was holding a balloon. Right? What was Billy doing? He was flying a kite. What was Trish doing? She was eating ice cream. What were Ron and Edith doing? They were walking in the park. What was Jen and Ray doing? They were jogging in the park. The main thing is it's past tense, not is.
Past progressive.
Yes. If it's present progressive, is are. But this is past progressive.
Was, were.
Talking about the past.
ing.
So we're going to do the listening. Are we going to do the listening?
Yes.
Yes, we're going to do the listen.
Listening.
So listen up. So listen to the conversations and choose the best answer for each question. So we've got each question here. Where was Karen yesterday? How was she feeling? What was Patrick doing? Was Brian at home? Conversation 3. Where was David when the woman saw him? What was Larry doing when the woman saw him? So check your answers. We'll read 3 conversations. I'll be A and Yonghi will be B. So conversation 1. Listen. Did you see Karen yesterday?
Oh, yes, I saw her at work.
How was she feeling?
She was still feeling a bit sick.
Did she go to the hospital?
No, she didn't. She was too busy.
Okay, very good. Right. We're going to jump forward and check the answers at the same time here. This will sort of save time. So question 1. Where was Karen yesterday? Yes, she was at work. How was she feeling? Yes. Oh, wrong one. We'll have to go. We'll do the answers in a moment. We'll go back. We'll do conversation 2 for now. Alright, so conversation 2. Oh. There we go. Listen. Where were you on Saturday?
I was at home with Patrick.
What were you doing?
We were cleaning the garage.
Was Brian helping you?
No, he was at his friend's house.
So we're just going to check the first answer here. What was Patrick doing?
He was cleaning the garage.
Yes. He was cleaning the garage. Very good. Okay. So let's go back and do conversation 3. When did you see David?
I saw him last Friday in the cafeteria.
What was he doing?
He was having lunch with Larry.
Did you ask about the meeting on Monday?
No, I forgot.
Oh well. Alright, so conversation 1, Karen was at work. And conversation 2, Patrick was cleaning the garage. And where was David when the woman saw him?
He was in the cafeteria.
He was in the cafeteria. So let's just check your memory for conversation 1. How was Karen feeling?
She was feeling a bit sick.
And was Brian at home?
No, he wasn't. He was with his friends.
And what was Larry doing when the woman saw him?
He was having lunch.
Yes, he was having lunch. There are your answers. Hope you enjoyed our little listening bit. Pronunciation, we usually leave that for another day. And lastly, we move on to the reading. So as usual, I shall read it one time and then we'll go through the answers with you. So, listen. Dear Diary, today was the worst day ever. My alarm didn't ring, so I woke up late for my new job. When I left the house, it was raining. I went back to get an umbrella, but the rain stopped when I was inside. I arrived at work at 9:30 a.m. My boss looked disappointed. I put my things down and went to get a coffee. When I was walking back to my desk, I tripped on a power cord. I spilled coffee all over my white blouse and on my boss's pants. I stayed at work until 7 p.m. because I didn't want to see my boss again. When I finally got on a bus to go home, I was checking my phone for messages. That's why I forgot my umbrella. I hope I never have another day like today. So let's check some answers. Which picture was number 1?
The one in the middle of top.
Yeah, that should show 1. But... Very good, Young-hee. Yes, the one at the top. And number 2?
Number 2 is the bottom right.
Very good. Yes, in the rain. It was raining as she left her house. And number 3?
Bottom left.
Yep. Alright, she arrived at work late. Her boss was disappointed. And number 4?
Number 4 is top right.
Yeah, she spilt the coffee. She spilt the coffee. And number 5?
Is bottom middle center.
Yes, alright, she spilt it on her blouse too.
What a bad day.
Yeah, what a bad day. And she also forgot her umbrella. So, not a great day. Not a great day. Let's hope for better days tomorrow. Better days tomorrow.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, yes, there's a bit more. Some questions at the bottom. Why did Tracy go inside again in the morning? Homework. What was she doing when she spilled coffee? Homework. What was she doing when she got on the bus? Homework.
Meow.
What did she forget at the bus stop? You can all...
Me angry, yow.
Yes, if it's not in the homework, then sorry. Or maybe I'll be nice. Lastly, of course, there's the grammar section. So here in the grammar, as it says, look at the pictures. At 2 p.m. yesterday, write full sentence to describe what the people were doing. Alright, what they were doing. So here, what they were doing, and write. So like here, Trey was checking his phone. Alright, he was on the bus.
Professor New, can you give us example the number 1?
Oh, number 1, the Connors. So this is the Connors. The Connors were taking a selfie.
Taking a selfie.
Yes. See here, selfie stick. They were at the zoo. Of course, you could combine them and say when they were at the zoo. But the book is not asking you to use when, but you could. Anne was eating lunch yesterday at 2 p.m. She ate lunch in the park.
Okay, so on the left you using past progressive, and on the right he uses simple past.
Simple past. Tom and Sue were shopping yesterday at 2 p.m. They shopped at the supermarket. Okay, that's good. So yeah, that should be enough. Here,
And
more
the B is
more present progressive. She was talking on the phone. She was holding a baby, and so on. And here,
this is combined.
yes, using when. Nora was dancing. So you got to change here. Is becomes was. So Nora was dancing when she fell down.
Yeah, here comes the irregular verb.
Yes.
For as a past tense is fell.
Yes, irregular. Chen and Aki were playing baseball when they broke a window.
Again, this one irregular.
Yes.
Number 3.
Garth was jogging when he dropped his phone.
That's regular.
Regular. And I'll leave 4 and 5 for you to do.
Me?
Students.
Okay.
In their time. For now, that is...
Wow, it's finished.
Yes, we have finished English 1, end of Unit 10. Thank you for joining us. Have a nice day. See you next time.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Leave comments in the section below. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.